Hello, welcome to the video. This is something I've been thinking about doing. I had recently gotten Planet Coaster and finished the career mode and thought, alright, now let's try sandbox. And I'm going to build a park and I'm going to base it on the video game Last of Us. Here I'm just building the opening plaza by building a path, and if you build a path in the grid conformation, when they connect they make one big open path. My idea here is to make an opening little plaza area where I'll have some shops and things and lead it on a road down to the rest of the park. I'm going to try to make I guess what some of the other YouTubers would call a semi-realistic park. There are those out there who make some highly realistic parks with backstage areas where the trash is collected and etc. etc. I may do some of that, but I won't do too much because, quite frankly, the PlayStation has a piece limit much lower than the computer versions, so I don't know how much detail I'd be able to allow. So here I'm making the first building. It's going to be a police station. I'm laying down a foundation, and I am slowly getting better at finding stuff I need in the menus. Then I decided I was going to make it out of brick and start scooting the walls around. I'm thinking here this is not going to be a two-story building. Here I am placing an archer down because I learned this in another YouTube streamer's videos, that the archer animatronic there is the same size as the guest. So if you place one down, you can kind of keep your perspective as to scale. Here I'm finding some doors for the place. Placing them down, and now we're going to find some windows. Looking for something that would look appropriate for... Oh, I guess I didn't finish my thought from earlier. This opening part of the park is going to be the small town in Texas that you find Joel in at the beginning of the game. And then the rest of the park will be, I believe I'm going to have a section on Boston and a section in Colorado. And if it goes well, maybe a section in California. The locations of the first game and the second game. So now I believe it looks like I'm trying to find some more things to kind of top off the roof with. I figured this is a small Texas town. It wouldn't have it too large a police station. So I didn't see any point in putting a second story. And here I'm just putting down, I believe it's a cement for the roof. Because it will see maybe here at one point, if you see along the side that's from the castle set, but it's got that nice little decorations along the side, and I like how that's going to look like it's part of the design of the building. I'm hoping my skills get a little bit better with using the multi-select, so that way I can multi-select some stuff and then make some of this building process quicker. Here I'm trying to find something decorative to put up at the top of the building to kind of cap it off. And I find this nice little piece here. And I decided to change the colors of it to make it stand out a little more. My thinking being, this is a small Texas town. They wouldn't go too far out with the ornateness of the buildings. They would prefer probably function over fashion. Seeing that, as I said earlier, as I get better, hopefully I can use the multi-select better, and I could have just selected that whole top row, duplicated it, and moved it over here to the side. But as it is now, I'm still trying to get kind of used to the multi-select. In the career mode of Planet Coaster, you did do some building, mostly coaster stations, so that you can build up the prestige of the ride and have more people want to ride it. But that was pretty much it. You didn't really build a whole lot of buildings. Career, you mostly just used their preset buildings, because you were just in the career mode, you were mostly just trying to meet certain criteria, like have a certain number of people in your park, have a certain number of people ride your rides, that kind of thing. So then we finish up this top molding. I get rid of the original one, and I move that one back into place where it's supposed to be. Now, and that's the other thing where I'll probably speed up in this process once I learn where things are. And I'll probably go through and start marking things I use more often as favorites so that they are easier to find. That is one of the things I like about Planet Coaster, is they have sub things you can look for, and look for like buildings made out of a certain type of material. So now I just wanted to find something to put up at the top where I can put the final rest of, alright, this is the rest of the building. And that'll probably be where the sign will go, saying, marking that this is the police station. Make it white to kind of go with the rest of the building. And I find this last little piece to finish going around the top, because there wouldn't be people up there on the roof of the police building often, but you'd probably have something up there to keep them from walking just directly off. Now I'm looking to find a sign to put in there to mark that this is the police station. Trying to find a font that looks appropriate. There are not a lot of fonts to pick from in the current edition of the game. Making the text white so it'll stand out a little more. Now I believe I'm probably oh yes, I decided I was going to put a that this police station needed a garage to house the 1 or 2 police cars they probably own. No, this is where I decided to see if I can put something in the corners to kind of set them off. I'm looking for a pillar or a column to go in there. Then I decided to go back to making the garage. I'm trying to find a door. I stick that in there and it looked nice. Then I realized a police car wouldn't fit through that door. I find a wide double door. And I'm looking and I'm probably deciding, yes, that's still not wide enough for a police car. So I decide I'm going to have to make a door. We find one of the plank pieces to put up as the cross top, and I make it wide enough for a car now. Find another plank piece to put on the sides. To put in for the side supports. Then I think my thinking at this point was I'm going to have to actually make the garage door. And then I remembered, oh yes, when I recently bought this studio pack, which I bought because it also comes with zombie animatronics, which I'm going to need for the zombie parts of Last of Us, that there was an animatronic for an elevator door that that looks an awfully lot like a garage door. It's opening and closing because it's actually part of an animatronic, but you can adjust things like have it do it on a loop, be always open, be always closed. So I make it closed. Here I'm trying to find, and I realized I hadn't set it up, and when I set up there is a terrain paint that's called asphalt, and my idea was to save on having to actually put pathing back there that nobody's actually going to go on, or cement blocks to look like the driveway for the thing. I was just going to paint the ground to look like tarmac, and I realized I had not set that up yet, so I'll have to go back there at some point and do that. But then I said, okay, let's put some flowers in front of the building. There's going to have to be some flowers of some sort, so I find the nice planters sections they have, putting them in. Then I go back, I guess I'm looking, I said, okay, so I go, let's see what I do have, and I have like rock, which doesn't look right at all. So I'm like, okay, we'll fix that later. Oh, and here's another part of the thing that came with the studio pack was a large assortment of emergency vehicles, including a police car. For some strange reason, they don't come with the wheels on them, so you have to put the wheels on yourself. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. I guess in case you ever want to put one that there's a police car abandoned at the side of the road with a flat tire or something. So we're putting the wheels on. And we're going to put some lights on the top because police cars have lights. In hindsight, I was looking at first just to see, go, okay, can I turn the lights on? And those are the versions of the lights that don't work. There's another set of lights that do actually light up. Here we're putting some plants in the... So that tree's too big, that tree's too big, that one's just right. So now we're just going to go around, put some nice plants in there, fill out the planter a little bit. And find these nice, I can't remember what, scavolas. I'm not quite sure what they are, but they're really nice for filling out planters. And they make for a very nice being general green fill. So here's the interesting part of the story. I did not have one of the settings correct in OBS. So this was the finishing of this building was not recorded. And then some things screwed up in Planet Coaster. So, well, the long story short is I'm usually going to try to end these videos with a nice shot of whatever I'd finished just built, but it's not here on this one, so it'll actually be at the beginning of the next one, and we'll take it from there. See you next time.